Question: do you tend to overcomplicate meals? Just wondering. Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing today? If you're brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a veteran viewer here, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're just dropping by to say hello, hello. Hope you come back one day and stick around. And the question begs, do you overcomplicate things? Do you overcomplicate meals? How can that make a difference? Well, it could be a little frustrating when you're trying to make a 25 ingredient meal for a 10-course dinner day in and day out. That is a lot to do. And it strikes me that you probably might rather utilize that extra time you might save by cutting back a bit, not to mention the money. And that's what we're going to focus on today, ways to simpler eating. Yes, 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 trusty glasses at hand. First thing I want you to do is open your mind a little bit, okay? All of us, you, me, all of us, both. Not just talking about you, talking about me too. Sometimes we get a little too complicated in things. But keep your mind on the prize. This sounds really weird, but here's a very simple thing to do. Any real food, not junk food, any real food that you have on hand, it's already on hand. And if it's already done up and cooked already, guess what? That can be eaten anytime, day or night. I don't know where we came up with this idea that just a few select choices of food need to be eaten for breakfast. And yes, we've all been conditioned to think that it's eggs or cereal or toast. Has anyone out there ever woken up and craved a hunk of cold chicken? You know, that cold chicken cutlet that may be sitting there waiting to be eaten from last night's dinner. Did that ever happen to you? Well, I'm not going to lie. It has happened to me. And I opened up my mind and I opened up my refrigerator and I took it out. And that was breakfast. Did I do something wrong? Did I commit a breakfast sin? No. I caved into my need for protein. And guess what? I did it on the cheap. I did it the easy way. It was already cooked. I didn't even need to heat it up. Now, I know it sounds unconventional, and that's what I'm trying to say. By always being conventional in the way we eat something, we are blocking ourselves off from a lot of foods. Hasn't anyone out there ever had cold pizza when you were in college for breakfast? Come on, be honest. Of course. Even if you didn't go to college, you might have had cold pizza for breakfast. This may not be for everyone, but for the ones who are receptive to the idea, I can tell you this much, it will be a money saver. It will be a money saver because if you have it in your fridge, why not take it out and eat it? If it's a healthy thing, especially like protein. Just saying, it's about the mindset, changing our mindset. Conversely, it's okay to have cereal or eggs or toast or the so-called conventional breakfast foods, either for lunch or for dinner. This is a great time saver. It's a great money saver. Budget's tight. Eggs are so cheap, no matter what. Even if your eggs cost $4 a dozen, which, by the way, I have paid for in my lifetime. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but some folks have to do that. Depends on where they live. Anyway, but the thing is this. It's still cheap. A dozen of something for $4, for example, I'm just saying, still comes out very, very cheaply. So breakfast for dinner, and if you like eggs, if you like them, not everyone does, but if you like them, have them. Have oatmeal for dinner. Have whatever. I mean, if it's a typical breakfast fare food, there's no clock on your stomach. There's no clock on your stomach. But you may be limited in budget, and it may be helping your budget So therefore, if you could work it all out together, I think that's a great thing. Personally, I think we tend to overcomplicate things. All we need to do is change our eating mindset, and it works. Next, going back to those multi-course meals for a second. Multi-course meals are expensive and complicated. They take longer to prepare. You need more ingredients, and it's going to add extra calories in all probability, not to mention extra time preparing, not to mention extra time to clean up. These are all factors. Again, if you love to do that and you have oodles of time to do that and the cash to do that, that's fantastic. But if a person is trying to save a few bucks here and there, overcomplicating meals is never a great thing to do. I really feel that way. And that's one place where we have a lot of wiggle room, where we can save money for real and for true. Get a little water, good old water. Next, one-pot meals. One-pot meals are very efficient. You get a variety of stuff in there. This is why many times you'll hear me suggest about soups, stews, things of that nature, or casseroles. Anything that's in one pot works. Another great thing is Yankee pot roast. Hello, you get your meat, you get your potatoes, you get your carrots, or whatever else you decide to put into your version of Yankee pot roast. And more than likely, you get do-overs or leftovers, as some people call it, for sandwiches. Yum, winner, winner, Yankee pot roast dinner. I like one-pot meals. Next, making pizza from scratch. Sometimes the idea of making pizza from scratch terrifies people. But pizza for pizza, cost for cost. Let's start off with the price levels, okay? Some, pizza places, they're very reasonably priced, all things considered. You may get them maybe like $5 each, someplace on a special. Some places you may be spending beyond $25. Some places it's just you're waiting too long for your delivery to get there. Consider not being afraid of making a pizza. And if you are terrified, let's face it, the most scary part for most people is the dough. But you could buy that dough already prepared. Or you could just decide to buy frozen pizza. Or you could use, let's say, Italian bread or French bread and make your own pizza. More than likely, you probably have jarred sauce hanging out in your home with some shredded mozzarella cheese. You can, again, keeping it simple, and some sliced pepperoni or vegetables, whatever you like, because pizza is a blank canvas. In fact, you could get the kids in on it and they could build their own pizza and have a little fun. So making pizza does not have to be that complicated. In fact, it should be the simplest thing you could do. Next, as far as cooking. Next, invest in a box of individually wrapped foods like a box of granola bars or some sort of snack bar, whatever that you like, okay? Honestly, that's one option. Personally, Janet prefers to maybe pack up some cashews, which are very much a healthier option. Cashews are good for you if you check on the research. They're delicious. So a little bag of cashews, perhaps a little box of raisins, or you can mix it together. Or you could slice up some like cheddar cheese or something, cheese and nuts, and put it in a little baggie and, take it with you to tide you over until you get home from wherever you are, because we do spend a lot of money on eating out. And most of the time, all we want is that really what we're really looking for is protein, believe it or not, because protein is the only thing that actually truly satisfies your hunger. So if you have that little bit of protein midway, it gets you home and you get to eat whatever you have at home for no additional cost. Let's see. Okay. This is by far one of the easiest things we could all do if you happen to enjoy ground beef Or if you like ground turkey, I would imagine this works. I don't usually work with ground turkey. I'm not going to lie. I'm more of a ground beef person, but I would guess it would work. Keep cooked ahead of time ground beef that has been drained, and you put them in, when it cools off, after it's cooled off, then you pack them up into little individual baggies, pack them flat, and then you could freeze them. And then whenever you need it, for example, if you want to do a quick chili, if you want to put these beef crumbles on top of your stuffed shells or spaghetti, without having to go through the whole work and mess of making meatballs or enhancing any sort of meat sauce, for example, or as individual ingredient with other things, or a scrambled egg, scramble with the beef, ground beef. You could do this. You could do this easily, quickly, and on the cheap, and less cleanup, and definitely time saved. I know these tips will be very, very helpful, and I'm really, really glad that I could give them to you. So now, what am I going to close the show out with? Back in a second with a wave. Take good care, everybody. Keep it simple. Have an amazing day.